Hello everyone, so today we're going to look at the container filling station with solid materials. So this is the station 402 of the SiF-400 system. As we see here, and as the name suggests, of course, it fills basically materials in the containers. Okay, so for example here we have this container. So the materials that we have, of course, they are solid, as you see. There's red, there is yellow, and there is blue. So we have three hoppers with three different materials. Now these hoppers, they're in positions, as you see. Each position, the position of each hopper is determined by the sensors, as you see here. So these sensors verify that the hoppers are in position. They are photoelectric sensors. Let's turn on the station. So of course we turn on from here for the main power and turn the switch on for the electric power. And while it's setting up, let's talk more about the station. So just to remind you, so here we have the PLC, it's a BR PLC, and the power supplies, the switch, the I/O interface panel, network switches, and we have here three motor drives. So as we see here, the motor drives, they're connected through the Ethernet. Now, so since we have three motor drives, that means we have three motors that are controlled by these drives. Let's look at them here. So here you see there's, of course, this rotary table is controlled by a stepper motor. The stepper motor, of course, you can track it from here and you can see which drive it will go. So we can track them actually and see to which drive they go. And so this is the first one. The second one is this stepper motor over here. So the purpose of this stepper motor is to control how high does this go. So basically this is to control how much material goes into the containers. And finally, so now while it's setting up, as we see, it's resetting. The station is resetting itself. The third motor, of course, is the one here that transfers the pallets into and out of the station. So the entry-exit transfer module over here. And as you see, it's controlled by a stepper motor. So these are the three motors that are controlled by a three motor drives. Also on the station, as you see here, there's the transfer module. This transfer module over here, just like in station 401. The transfer module is controlled by brushless motors. So also on the station, as you see here, there's several sensors. So we saw these photoelectric sensors that determine the position of the feeders. There's also this sensor here, which is an analog sensor. It measures how much does this cylinder go down. Okay. It's an analog sensor. Other sensors, we have also these sensors here that determine if it's empty or not, if the feeders are empty or not. And another photoelectric sensor here, and also on the transfer module. So as you see here, we have cylinders. So here we have solenoid actuated valves. These valves drive the different cylinders on the system, and these valves, they have manual overrides on them. So even if there's no electric power, you still can manually override the cylinders. For instance, cylinder D is this one here, so we can actuate it, and as you see here, it's a spring return valve, and if you manually override it, it will extend. For example, cylinder A is this cylinder here. Cylinder C is that cylinder over there, which has a gripper that holds the hatch of the feeder. So as you see here. So also, like I mentioned, there's a hatch on each feeder. This is how it fills the materials into the container. So, for example, we can test this over here. So please make sure that you place the container under the feeder. And as you see the hatch over here, basically if you lift it slightly, the materials will fall into the container. So let's run the system. Before we do that, please make sure you follow 5S all the time. So we're going to return these back. So now we have the station ready. As you see here, it indicates here, so it's ready. As you see, they both have to be green, these two lines. And now what we're going to do, let's choose, for example, yellow color, for example. And we place a pallet over here. And we press the start button. And as you see here, it's going to start. Now it's going to be transferred into the station. And it's going to rotate to the yellow color, as you see here. Now this is going to lift the hatch. So the motor moves it down, and now there's the verification cylinder. So this is the verification cylinder that will extend, and by means of the analog sensor, it's going to measure the distance that it traveled down. And now it will determine that it's filled. So as you see, it's open, and it's now going to exit from the station into the transfer module. So the transfer module, as you see, is actually there's two parts in it. There's this part that moves it to the station, and there's the recirculation part of the module. Thank you.